What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be predicting the Browns record for the 2023 season. And I haven't really done a video like this yet, so we are going to do it right now. If you guys want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like on these videos. And without further ado, we are going to dive right into it. So, to start off the season here, the Browns will play in Cleveland versus Cincinnati at 1 o'clock. And honestly, there's still a lot of questions going into this game. Some of them being, how's Deshaun going to play? Is Burrow going to be the starter for the Bengals? Honestly, I think this is going to be a close game. It's going to be back and forth. I do expect the defense to give up around, at the most, 30 points, but I do think they'll play relatively better than last season against Cincinnati. And I also do think that Cincinnati's defense will be more prepared for us as well. I do think it's going to be a close game. I have Cincinnati taking this game. But honestly, the Browns could come out on top here. We'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens in terms of lineups for week one. But I do think Cincinnati is going to take this game. But honestly, if you have the Browns winning here, I would understand as well. So week two will be September 18th. The Browns will travel to Pittsburgh. That is a Monday Night Football game. And honestly, it is always tough to play in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh this offseason has improved, and they are going to be much better than they were last season. This is going to be another one of those tough games. Honestly, I think all division games this year are going to be tough. But I do have the Browns going out on top here. It will be a close game, like I said, for week one. After that, the Browns Week 3 will be going back home for Tennessee, and I think this will be an easier victory for the Browns here. Tennessee, I don't think, has nearly as much strength as they did a year or two ago. They still have Derrick Henry, which could be a problem. But besides Derrick Henry, I don't really see much happening. I have the Browns winning by at least a touchdown or two here. They are going to stay home against Baltimore the next week, October 1st, and Baltimore is going to be another tough opponent for the Browns. Browns don't have a lot of easy opponents this season. I think Baltimore, like Pittsburgh, has improved a lot over this offseason. And Lamar is healthy, and he signed an extension with the Ravens. They also still got guys like Andrews. They picked up Odell. It's not going to be a fun game against Baltimore. I might be a little generous here. I do have them winning this game. I think down the line they will split, which I'll get into a little later. So next is their bye week. Next, they will be home again for San Francisco. That is on the 15th. And San Francisco is going to be a very, very, very tough game. San Francisco, they have picked up some new players. They still have Christian McCaffrey on their lineup. And I think San Francisco is going to be a loss. It's just a very tough opponent. And honestly, I don't really think there's much chance that we'll come out on top there. Week 7, we will go to Indianapolis to face the Colts. I think the Colts are going to be kind of like Tennessee. I don't think they're going to be a super hard opponent for the Browns. I do think the Browns will beat them, but obviously anything can happen. So we can take it as it is. And then we are going to go to Seattle the following week. That is one of the two 405 games. They've improved over the offseason. They looked decent last season. I do think Seattle's going to come in and pack a little bit of a punch. The Browns winning here. I think the Browns do win here, but it will be a bit of a closer game. I'm not saying it's going to be a super competitive game, but it'll definitely be close in at least the first half of the game. And then they will go back home versus Arizona week 9. And I think the Browns are just going to roll over Arizona. Week 10, November 12th, they will be at Baltimore. I said earlier that they will split with Baltimore. I still believe that. They will lose here. Honestly, I think they're going to split with all the teams in our division. So I do have them losing to Pittsburgh. That's how their division's going to be this year. And then November 26th, we go to Denver to play the Broncos. We're not really sure how the Broncos are going to do this year. They obviously fell off last year with Russell Wilson and all those guys. I think we can pull out the win against Denver. That's basically all I have to say about that game. For Week 13, they will be in Los Angeles to play the Rams. The Rams kind of fell off last year too, like the Broncos, and I do have them winning against the Rams. I know it may sound surprising, but I have them winning against the Rams. The next week, they'll go to Jacksonville, where they'll play the Jaguars, and that game is going to be a close game in my opinion. I do have them winning here. I know it may sound a little weird. Honestly, like that first Cincinnati game of the year, you can give a valid reason why they might lose this game too. But yeah. And then 17th, they will take on the Chicago Bears. I have them winning against the Chicago Bears. With Justin Fields, that O-line still is still a question mark for me. They got some new weapons, but I do have the Browns winning against the Bears. And then they'll go back to Houston to face Deshaun Watson's old team. And honestly, I see him winning against Houston as well. So I don't have much to talk about with Houston. And then they'll play New York at home December 28th. That is a Thursday night football game. I don't think it's going to be easy to play New York considering they got Aaron Rodgers now, some other new guys, including Dalvin Cook. I think this will be a tough game for the Browns. I know it might sound weird, but I think this will be a tough game for the Browns. I think they'll lose this game, honestly, but again, if you have them winning, that's valid too. But then to close out the regular season, they will play in Cincinnati January 7th. They'll split with Cincinnati, like I mentioned earlier. So when all that is said and done, I have them at around a record of 12-5. But obviously, I think in terms of the range they might actually end up in, I think they could end up in a range of having a ceiling of 12-5 and them having a floor of 9-8. I think that is going to be their general range this year under Deshaun Watson's offense and the new defense with Jim Schwartz. I just think the team is going to be better this year. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. I could be a little generous with these predictions, and being a Browns fan, I think you guys understand that. But those are my predictions. If you guys have any thoughts in the comments, be sure to drop them below. And always be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. And we'll see you guys on the next video. And yeah.